Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. This is the deep analysis for Bitcoin to see where are we heading from the all-time history to the 15-minute chart. We're gonna start here with the cycles, where we have the first cycle, wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3 in the second cycle, wave 4 and a 5 in the third cycle to finish a wave 1 or a wave A. In the fourth cycle, we got, of course, another correction and a push toward the upside, which it was our last bull run that we got, of course, lately. And we start, of course, a new correction there. And before the finish or the end of the cycle. So we can see right now that we are accelerating the push toward the upside with Bitcoin during the cycles, because we have already started with a correction before the end of the cycles this time. And of course, we might start at the start of the new cycle here. We might start the new bull run. Normally, the correction we're starting every single cycle before, but this time, of course, it looks like that the correction will end up here as a wave 2 expanding flat within the end of the cycle again, and then pushing, of course, for higher in a bull run for Bitcoin. So in the next cycle, I would say it's gonna be a little bit massive, because the wave 3 here, after a 1, 2, and wave 3, 4, and a 5, we might see, of course, a double bull run in the next cycle here, of course, which it can be really, really massive, above the 200, 300K for Bitcoin. So currently, the wave 2 is still unfolding as an ABC expanding flat. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 1 here, ABC. And of course, as you can see, a very strong hold area here for Bitcoin, where had been never built before. In the all-time history for Bitcoin, you will never see such a stronghold area here. A very sideways correction, which is a wave 4 basically, and it's gonna hold the price very firmly here around the 50 and the 60K for Bitcoin. And that means, of course, I doubt that Bitcoin can drop below this area. Even this wave C, that it might unfold, of course, the wave 3 again, it might not reach even the low of this stronghold area. In case we are in different scenario, which is a deeper WX and a Y, and that your wave 1 has stopped over there somehow, meaning that this is your wave 5, all of it here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and this is your deep correction wave 2. It might hold on exactly at the bottom of this strong area as well, and then pushing toward the upside. So in both case scenario, I would say Bitcoin cannot really and easily break the 50K for Bitcoin for this correction. This is the maximum correction that I see for Bitcoin to drop down and then starting the push toward the upside again. So this is regarding the cycle, the bullish scenario that it might be unfolding over there, but currently higher possibility, of course, still for the expanding flat over there, finishing a wave 5, of course, over there, and starting an ABC here, and also the wave 1 is finished over there currently. Of course, once we break this area, the 1.618, around the 68K, if we break it, then I might shift, of course, into a deeper WX and Y around the 52K for Bitcoin. So this is the deepest that I would say that it can Bitcoin reach. In case we are in much more bearish catastrophe here scenario, it might be, of course, something else totally here, that you have a WX and a Y in double zigzag within an X. So this strong area is the X. And that you might be here, therefore, in 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then you push in a wave C downward, whether expanding flat or regular running flat, meaning finishing kind of like 5 waves down, kind of a running flat, failing to take the low, and then pushing for higher again. Unless, of course, taking the low, which is very, very low possibility, guys. It's impossible for Bitcoin. Let us be realistic. So this scenario is very far. Of course, before breaking the 68K, we cannot talk in deeper correction yet. Now, if we dive on the daily here, for the daily, I would like to mention that, of course, our channeling here for the last bull run that we saw as a wave 1, and then this ABC expanding flat that we just explained also on the all-time history, still unfolding. potentially to finish up around this area. So very likely that we might be in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then pushing, of course, for higher again for a new bull run. So the target 68K and around it can be, of course, in confluence here with this area, and we can see that even there is a potential different possibilities here, and that because, of course, within the new channeling here taken from the wave 1, 2 here, we can see the base channel in red that the price has exited, and this is not a normal thing to see. When you are in an impulse, you don't want to exit the base channel. You want to come back within a wave 4, at least to the middle part of the base channel, and continue the drop towards the downside with the wave 5 to reach, of course, the acceleration channel, the middle line, or at least the lower line here as a wave 5. But this did not happen. It gave us, of course, a signal that something else is unfolding here, and it is not an impulse anymore. And it is very likely that this is a zigzag, and we're looking for something as another zigzag and dropping down again, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending diagonal. Same scenario, same target, but simply different way to push toward the downside. Before we continue, I would like to briefly share an exclusive offer from BYDFi. By signing up through my link in the description below, you'll receive an instant VIP3 account providing significantly reduced trading fees. In addition, BYDFi is offering generous sign-up bonuses. Deposit $100 and receive a 50 USDT bonus. Deposit $1,000 and receive 200 USDT, or deposit $20,000, you will receive 2,000 USDT bonus. This is a limited time offer, so check my link in the description below to take advantage of it. By all means, rather than being in this impulse, full aggressive impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which was supposed to be like this, dropping from there, it has, of course, gave us a signal that it will move towards the upside. And of course, that was given already from the diagonal that we saw here as a potential ABC. Now, this scenario, of course, has a little bit lower possibility because of what happened with the wave 4 and also the channel exiting it. That means give us, of course, higher possibility for this scenario, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which is perfect within the channels because, of course, this has left the base channel, and very likely that we are in the wave 2 and we're looking for 3, 4, and a 5 here to reach, of course, the target. And this, by the way, give us a much more signal that yes, this is an expanding flat unfolding here, and it might be, of course, the ending diagonal what you are looking for here, because it starts to slow down, with an ending diagonal rather than being impulsive. Going in ending diagonal, meaning the trend is slowing down, meaning the bulls are accumulating, and once we reach this strong area, we're gonna explode again toward the upside. Yep, so this is regarding Bitcoin, the highest possibility here that we might have in case we are in much deeper correction that we talked about it, potentially in case that you topped here for wave 1 in a bull run. And that means your bull run is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your wave 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well, impulse. Meaning you are looking here for a deeper correction because the 0.38 minimum requirement taken from this high becomes, of course, lower 0.38. And that means 56.5K here, which is still in confluence with this strong area, and then pushing for higher, meaning WX and a Y sharp zigzag or something like that, and that pushing, of course, continuously towards higher prices. However, this possibility is still low because I need to break this area first. By breaking this area first, of course, then I can call here something to push for higher in case broken. Potentially, we're going to test there for the next possibility for the zigzag or the WX and Y. Now, of course, breaking this area will bring us, of course, in a much more deeper correction. And that means, of course, something here is as an expanding flat unfolding, right? Or as a running flat. But this is very, very far possibility, as we mentioned today. Now, for bullish scenario, much more bullish from there, it's still possible, honestly. Let's be honest. It's still very possible. And that means you are in 1, 2, 3, wave 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very likely still unfolding as an ending diagonal, meaning you still can get, of course, a wave 5 towards the upside. Despite everything happened here, despite the red yesterday, we're still in a position to push for higher. I'm going to explain in the micro how. So for this one, of course, can be a wave 5. In case that we break the wave 5, meaning wave 5 longer than wave 3, that is a bullish, extreme bullish scenario in double 1, 2, wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, transferring this, all of it, to a wave 3. And then this transforming to double 1, 2, then 4, 5, 4, 5 towards the upside. Very massive, very extremely bullish here for Bitcoin. But of course, very far possibility still. The same as the extreme bearish. We are always realistic here. We keep the things step by step. And we'll see, of course, what's going to happen after it. Now, let's dive, of course, in the 2-hour chart for the possibilities as well. So, as you mentioned, of course, for the possibilities in a deep correction here, for an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 is very, very far possibility right now because of this wave 4 exiting the base channel, also very long in time, not reaching the double 1, 2 here, 3, 4, and a 5. Where are they? Yeah, so currently, of course, therefore, we are unfolding the ending diagonal, this one, which is currently looking for an ABC because you are looking, of course, for the zigzag. Already finished there for wave 1, zigzag wave 2, zigzag wave 3, and so on. Yeah, so we are looking right now for the first wave A. So I'm looking here for a potential A, B, and a C, of course, to unfold in this magenta scenario. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm looking for. Now, basically on the 1-hour chart, before the 1-hour chart, let me explain the bullish scenario that I promised to explain in case we are bullish still. Don't forget that this can transform to double 1, 2, knowing that this as diagonal is an expanding diagonal, which is not really nice anyway. But we have to count it potentially because it is 5 waves up. And of course, it might be a wave 2 here and 3, 4, and a 5. Meaning if we are in double 1, 2 only, we can seek for higher. But of course, a confirmation for this scenario is first taking the high, because as I always mention, 5 ways up, 3 ways down. Taking the high is your first confirmation for something bullish. Now, preparation for something bullish would be, of course, the invalidation of bearish, meaning something else is unfolding and very likely to be bullish, but to be confirmed is taking the high. This is exactly what it can be as bullish, but still very, very far from it. Even the preparation for the bullish is still very far. Now, on the 1-hour chart, yesterday, of course, we have mentioned there is a very creepy and very complex structure here unfolding after a 1, 2, 3. Now, we saw a wave 4, and I mentioned that the wave 4 is not finished because, of course, we're still looking here at something to unfold as a W, X, and a Y. This is exactly what happened, and currently we have a W there. You have the X as a triangle A, B, C, D, E, and you got the wave Y. Now, the wave Y has a push kind of like impulsively, but this is not an impulse. Guess why? Because, of course, the wave 3 is shorter than the wave 1 here and shorter than the wave 5, which is not allowed, meaning this is something as, of course, ABC, finishing the wave Y and then pushing impulsively again toward the downside here as an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Currently, the range is very long, I know, but of course, this is a weekend, so this is exactly how it works normally. However, just to mention, if the things are going to be much more, I would say, annoying a little bit for this correction to not end up, be careful, it can extend the wave Y as an ABC there, meaning even if you have 3 waves, it might still, of course, a wave B here, and then having a wave C, meaning simply extension there. Why I'm calling this potentially, be careful, because you have an ABC. You want to have something similar, probably here, but yeah, not necessarily, guys. It's not necessarily, since we got an impulse there, so very likely to continue impulsively toward the downside, highest possibility, of course. Especially here, I don't see yet something impulsive. I see something also as an ABC, and it might continue toward the downside, taking the low. Okay, this is the highest possibility. So next target, I would say, for Bitcoin here, I'm looking right now at an ABC, right? So we're looking at an ABC. So actually, I would like to finish first the wave A there. So the wave A, of course, as a wave 5, it has to reach, of course, this target there. I'm going to keep the target there from the wave 3. So 85,700, 84,420 is the target, the next target for this move, as expected still to finish, of course, the wave A here as an impulse, and then getting a wave B, and then, of course, pushing for a wave C later on for lower. So we're going to come back probably even to this area and higher in a wave B. Nobody knows, before, of course, finishing up a wave C over there. Yeah, so very, very likely that this might happen, guys. And now I would say better confluence here would be, it would be, of course, the wave 3 as a diagonal. By all means, if you have here a wave 3 as diagonal, the next target might be, of course, directly the 68K here. Okay, so we gotta be careful. It can be, of course, the wave 3 in the diagonal. Okay, meaning the diagonal, this one. Let me open in the diagonal. Here we go. This one, the ending diagonal. Yeah, can reach, of course, even lower. Yeah, so it can be very low. Now, don't forget, of course, it can be as well the 0.618 uncommon target here. Can be, but it depends how much aggressive it's gonna be, guys. Okay, it depends how much aggressive. I think that it's a little bit hard to go very, very low and aggressive to the perfect fib level. I think because if a wave 5 will finish up here, let's say in the common target, it can be, of course, an ABC 1-to-1 fib level over there. So the confluence in precision later on, of course, once we get the A and the B, we might get, of course, a zigzag over there. Here we go at 80,000. Yeah, so I doubt a little bit the massive wave 3, guys. So we might get kind of like this A, B, and a C, something like this, taking the low here. And it might even come back up and down. Yeah, so this is basically what I'm looking for. And yes, and it might, of course, yeah, it might move with the path that we draw here potentially for the targets as well. Yeah, so these are the possibilities for Bitcoin. So as a recap, of course, higher possibility on the lower time frame to drop down toward the 85, 84K. And of course, we are still looking on the macro level for a correction in a wave 2. In a bear market, a very, very fast bear market, it might finish. Of course, we are accelerating as we saw on the cycles. And we might start, of course, a new bull run very, very soon once we finish this drop down for Bitcoin as an ending diagonal. That was it for Bitcoin, the deep analysis. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.